Welcome. On behalf of the Lyons High School coaching staff, I'd like to welcome everyone to the Athletic Awards program. The awards program will take on a different look and feel this year since we have to do this virtually because of the COVID-19 virus. Our hearts go out to all the student athletes at Lyons High School that had their spring sports season canceled, especially the seniors. As coaches, we tell our athletes to work hard and be dedicated and committed to the task at hand because you never know when your season could be cut short. Because of COVID-19, that phrase takes on a whole different tone now. I want all of our student athletes to remember this quote: "Tough times don't last, but tough people do." Today, we will take time to reflect back on the past school year and recognize the achievements of our teams and student athletes. We want to celebrate the accomplishments of our athletic family here at Lyons High School. This night or this afternoon would not be possible without the support of the parents of our student athletes and the numerous boosters and supporters of Lyons High School. I would also like to take a second to recognize another group, our coaching staff. It has been my privilege to work with this group of people. The amount of hours that go into watching film, putting together stats, planning practices, etc. is extremely difficult. It takes time away from their own families, but they do it because they love it and because they want you, the student athletes, to have a great experience. A lot of work that our coaches put into any season often goes unrecognized, but it is definitely noticed. At this time, I will introduce the coaches of the fall sports. Head girls tennis coach, Andrea Carlson. Head volleyball coach, Dean Roush. Head football coach, Andy Gwinnett. And head cross country coach, Zach Vogel.
Good evening. I'm Andrea Carlson. I am the head coach for the girls tennis team at Lyons High School. I had 4 seniors this year: Christina Head, Hala Bryant, Devaney Gamas, Tanya Silva. We had a great season. We had lots of fun. We took first once at home and we took first at Pratt. And it was just a really good season of the girls just getting better and improving on all their skills. And so I feel like it was just a really fun season. We did go to state this year. Christina Head went to state as a singles player. And my letter winners this year are Christina Head, Hala Bryant, Devaney Gamas, Tanya Silva, Bella Bryant, Jamie Belote, Tessa Miller, Aslan Decker, April Goldner, and Victoria Contreras. Anyways, I want to thank Vicki Johnston for being a great assistant coach, and I enjoyed this season, and have a great evening. Bye.
Hi, you probably don't recognize me right now. I'm incognito, but I was asked to do a film today in place of our athletic banquet. So I figured, after I do this, I'm probably going to be a superstar. So I had to get used to having all this stuff on and make sure that people don't recognize me when I go out in public and I'm famous. No, I'm just messing. Hi, it's old Coach Roush. Say hi to everybody. This is our virtual athletic banquet. It's a little bit different, but it's going to be all right. I guess for many, this is going to go down as the year that never was. No basketball championships, no track, spring plays, concerts, things like that. Those things just won't be done. But we did have a volleyball season. We had a darn good volleyball season. We ended up with a record of 29-10. We ended up winning the Marion Spike Fest Championship. We ended up winning for the second straight year the Lyons Invitational Championship. Got third place at the very competitive Towanda Circle. We ended up in 5th place in a league tournament where we had actually tied for first for a little while. Had some things going wrong, had some injuries. But ended up 2nd place. So that's fantastic. And that's going to go down as truly a historic year. Part of that has to do with our great assistant coaches, Angela Holmes-Clark and Amber Fluhoff. thanks for joining the staff. Did a wonderful, wonderful job. But I think most of it goes to our seniors. In particular, Liberty Belote, Daisy Stover, and Christina Head. You guys contributed so much. I will never forget you. I've got your mug. Got your mug that you got me. I always keep that on my desk, and I will always keep that around for your memories. You guys were great. Daisy was one of our captains. She put things together whenever there was something that needed to be done in the community, like painting or cleaning somebody's yard or the dog park. She was right there organizing those things, getting us together. Did a wonderful job with leadership. Also improved your volleyball so much this year. Thank you. Christina Head. Christina, you've been our backbone for probably ever since you were a freshman or a sophomore. I'm sorry, I only had 2 years with you guys. But you were the one on the court that we depended on so much. And a lot of times you did put the team on your back and you just went. And then there's Liberty. Liberty had to beg to come out. And once you did, you didn't miss practices. You worked so hard. You came in early in the morning. You improved so much. All three of you girls are going to go on to live lives of distinction. Just know that. So no matter what happens here, it's just kind of the jumping off place of where you're going to be. You set the bar high, and the teams that are going to follow you will have to follow quite a legacy. So you will be used, and you know how my speeches are, you'll be used forever and ever as, well, we had those girls, and they turned around the Lyons program. So thank you so much for that. Again, I want to thank our assistant coaches, Angela Holmes-Clark. Had a great manager, Andrea Rivera. Did an excellent job, Mrs. Bowers, and the cheerleaders. Thank you so much. Marlon Clark and the custodial staff did a great job keeping things going. Administration did well, Kelly Nusser, and obviously Jeff Foose. Jeff spends hours and hours and hours trying to keep the athletic programs organized and going. Really do appreciate that. I want to thank the parents. Great meals this year, great support. You were behind those girls, and I know when that season ended, it was as tough for you as it was for any of us. So thank you for your support on that. And obviously, thank you, Mrs. Roush. She spends a lot of hours alone and has throughout our married career. Maybe that's good, I don't know, but it's also, I'm sure, times where it is lonely, and she's good support. Really appreciate that stuff. First thing that I want to do is talk about the kids that were participants, and these kids, I'm sure, will go on. Several of them will go on to earn varsity letters. This year there was a lot to learn. I want to make sure I don't forget any names, so I'm probably going to read those off. I apologize for that, but probably one of a coach's biggest nightmares is to forget somebody or something, and that happens, especially as you get my age. It happens more and more. So our participants this year included Emma Elliott, Nevaeh Boyd, Natasha Hamey, Sarah E. Carrera, Mariana Silva, Brianne Schlomer, Kimberlyn Baschholtz, Emma Martinelli, Carolina Landreros, Val Montanez, Senan Corona Martinez, Yaneli Pena, Caitlin Harley, and Lily Stansberry. And Lily had quite a bit of varsity time. She didn't have quite enough to earn a varsity letter, but I'm sure that's going to be coming. You guys contributed so much, and we hope to see you out next year. We hope to be able to work out this summer and get you going. Like I said, the bar's been set high, and these kids showed you how to do it. You saw how hard those seniors worked in the weight room, so you can do it. All of our groups, all of our junior varsity and our freshman group had winning seasons, and I think they will continue. The upcoming 8th graders also had a winning season, so program's on its way. The second thing I want to talk about are the varsity letter winners. You guys did a great job. We lost some pretty talented kids last year, a lot of height, and we came back and improved everything. We got better hitting, better setting, etc. So right now I want to talk about those kids a little bit. Talk about our letter winners. We had one freshman letter winner, Caitlin Belote. Caitlin came on strong this year, and quick learner, very smart girl, very athletic, and did some amazing things. And we're going to depend a lot on her in the future, and she's just going to get better and better. She's very athletic, very intelligent, and yeah, she's going to be one we'll depend on. And then we have that sophomore class, who huge sophomore class, backbone of our team. So there's quite a few of those. One of them is Janessa Jaime, and Janessa did a great job when Emily Roble got hurt. She came in as a libero, good hands, good serve. She's hard to get rattled, very, very quick, very athletic. Really going to help us out. She may end up playing all the way around. She could do it. She's played outside, so really like what she did. Dylan Procopio. Dylan earned a varsity spot. She worked hard. Had a good year this year. Really helped the team out quite a bit in terms of just getting that middle done, getting some blocks done, and then later on hitting some outside. Again, I think she's somebody that's just going to get better and better as she goes. Becca has a dynamite serve. A lot of times she'd serve 4 or 5 aces in a row, and she was somebody that we learned to be able to depend on. And again, she's going to be a very strong contributor in the future, and so we look forward to her. Lizeth Valenzuela is another one who had a great serve, came in and passed well. She passed well in the junior varsity. I think on the varsity she will pass well. She just needs to keep working, getting in that time and stuff. Then you had Jalissa Sarasaris. Jalissa, again, came in like Dylan did, and we tried her in a variety of spots. She can hit, so I can see her as being a middle or an outside. But again, all those kids came up and earned some starting time, but they're also going to be the backbone of the team in the next couple of years. So work hard this summer. However you can, whatever you can, just depend on us having a season next year and just work really, really hard. The other sophomore that I didn't mention, or I waited to mention, was Kaylee Areola. Kaylee was a second-year setter. Good server, good setter, good passer. She can hit. Great sense of humor. She's a fun kid. And I will depend on her very, very much so next year to kind of help lead the team. You have that experience. You and Emily both will be third-year varsity players. So we so much are going to need your leadership next year. So you can do it. I know you can. Emily, you're another one. You had a late season injury, but very, very steady server, good passer. You were a libero most of the year. And you are going to be our senior leader next year. You're going to be our captain. So get started, get in the weight room, get these kids going, because they are definitely going to need your leadership. That leads us to kind of our final goodbye, farewell, and thank you to our three seniors. We did have Emma Martinelli also. She was an exchange student from Italy. Thank you for your service. But Liberty and Christina and Daisy, you've been with me now for 2 years. You were the group that turned this team around. Liberty, we always joke about when I asked, is there any more tall girls? Because I remember seeing somebody in the weight room before I even took the job. I said, well, yeah, there's Liberty below it. She doesn't want to play volleyball. So we made sure we got you in the gym, and once you tried it, you were going to be all right. You very, very good kid. Very, very much a competitor, and I know you wanted to do the best that you could. Sometimes I think you felt the weight of the world, but I'm very proud of you. Thank you. And then finally we have our two captains, Christina and Daisy. Christina and Daisy, you are the foundation of our team. Daisy, you made sure that we did community service. You made sure that we got things organized in terms of teams. I don't know how much I can say about the contributions that your mom and the other senior parents made, but Mrs. Stover, thank you very, very much for all that you did. And like I said, I've seen some parents come and go, but when I get parents like you, I just like to hold on to them forever, because they help the team so much. So thank you for all that you did. Appreciate that. And Daisy, thank you as well. Had a tremendous year. You did. You made the Marion Spike Fest all tournament team. You made second team all league. And then you're going to go on and play college ball at Southwestern. And I think there's no doubt that you're going to bring that same kind of dedication and drive to their team and help them as well. Thank you for all that you did, Dace. Thank you for your leadership. Christina, you're the last one, I guess, that I need to talk about, or I want to talk about. Wow. Foundation of the team. You're the one that we had to depend on to put away teams, put away hits. You had the weight of the world on you sometimes. But instead of worrying about that weight, you actually improved in areas. You improved in your passing. You really, really improved on your serving. Got that jump serve down. Your hitting became so much more proficient. Some of the awards that you had, you were first team all league. Excellent job. You were second team 3A all state. That's awesome. You also were part of the alternate team as far as the Marion Spike Fest. But you received an award that I actually didn't know about until later, and it had to do with your stats. You were number 31 in this is in all classes, all kids, all over the state of Kansas. Number 31 in blocks. You were number let me see what I can find the stats there. There it is. You were number 11 in total aces with 81. Number 2 in aces per set. That's number 2 in the state with 1.04. You were number 11 with total kills. And you were number 3 in the state of kills per set at 5.92. This is a state leader. Coffeyville Community College is going to get an excellent player. Christina Coffeyville is going to get a heck of a person and a heck of a player. And you and the other two seniors are going to go on to do amazing things in your life. You just have that. You have that leadership, that drive, and then all the other intrinsic values that somebody needs to be successful. So, excellent job, excellent year, 29-10, second in the league. You can't beat that. You guys will be sorely missed, and as I said, you set the bar high, and the rest of the kids now see what it's going to take to continue the program to be strong. But I want to thank all of you guys, the coaches, the parents, my wife, the staff, and especially the players. Thank you for such a great year. And hopefully this coronavirus thing will get over with and life will get back to normal. So, I want you all take care.
My name's Coach Gwinnett with the Lyons football team, and I'm going to go over our roster, our captains, our all-league mentions, and our different position players and the season that we had. First of all, what an exciting year for Lyons football. A lot of improvement, a lot of great players that helped build that foundation for years to come. And what I saw this year is that our hard work in the summertime and in the fall really led to a successful sports year. Unfortunately, the spring wasn't able to happen, but I think we would have had a lot of success this spring also. I'm just going to read down my roster here, starting with our seniors. Aaron Gomez was a running back for us. He was also a captain and had a great senior year for us. Played in the backfield and also played linebacker, played multiple positions for us. John Smith was our quarterback. He was also an honorable mention all-league defensive back. Was one of those players that, again, we had him in different positions and was able to have success for us and really led our team. Our next senior is Desmond Higgins. He played in the backfield, played linebacker, played different positions in the secondary, and had a great season for us. Our next senior is Ishmael Reyes, another guy who played in the backfield, played linebacker for us, and unfortunately had an injury that kept him out a few games, but he had a phenomenal year. I think he averaged over 5 yards a carry. And then our next senior is Eddie Barilla. Eddie he played tight end, he played in the backfield, he played linebacker, played multiple positions for us, and was someone who really had some good runs for us. Did a nice job for us this year. And then Alejandro Pena was an offensive lineman for us this year, second team all-league on the offensive line. He was another captain for us. Ishmael was a captain, John was a captain, Aaron was a captain. Those were our four captains. Just a really good group of seniors who started us off right and provided a good foundation for us. Israel Rios was our junior this year. He played tight end for us, defensive end, did a nice job for us. And I'll go through our sophomores here. Carl Clark played in the backfield and defensive back. Trayton Troyer unfortunately had a couple injuries this year, but started a game for us, played in the backfield, played the linebacker position, did a really nice job for us in the few times he was able to play for us. Dawson Stover was a tight end, also played some wing for us, played D-line, played some linebacker, very versatile. He was an honorable mention all-league defensive lineman. And Bryson Enfield, another sophomore, he played on the D-line, he played linebacker, played in the secondary, played a little bit in the backfield for us, and played all over for us. Very versatile athlete. Wyatt Showalter was the next guy on here. He played on the offensive line, different positions, played defensive line, played as linebacker, did a great job for us this year. Next sophomore is Luis Bertrand. Did a great job for us on the O-line this year, played on the D-line. One of those guys, very dependable, did a really nice job for us. Giovanni Pando played O-line and D-line for us this year, had I thought, a really good season. Mbeck was hurt, or had surgery on his knee in the summertime, and then he came back at the end of the year, ended up playing for us on the O-line and D-line. Troy Reason was a guy who played a lot of O-line and D-line for us this year. Hayden Lehman, I think he played different positions on the O-line, played on the D-line, and did a really nice job for us this year. And then Braden Schwarzfigger played on the O-line, played on the D-line, and did a nice job for us. He had a couple injuries with his thumb. But that's our roster this year. All those guys were letter winners. They all started for us one game, either on offense or defense. Did a really nice job. We're looking to have a bunch of guys come back and having a good group of 8th graders come in. I'm excited about the future. You know, this the weight room situation this summer is going to be interesting as far as when we can get in and when we can't. But I'm excited about all those guys. I thought we started turning the corner this year. We got a lot better. It was exciting to win the homecoming game and the excitement that followed that. So again, my name is Coach Gwinnett with the Lyons High School football team, and thank you.
Hello, I'm Coach Vogel, the head cross-country coach, and welcome to our virtual sports banquet here. Before we get started, I'd like to thank my assistant coach, Dan Reason, for all of his help this year. And then just to give you a quick recap of our season, we had a really good season overall. This is the first time in probably 10 years or so that we've had a girls team large enough to run a whole team at regionals, and they ran very well. They took 5th place as a team. Top 3 qualify for state, so they're getting closer to qualifying for state as a team. And from that race, we had one individual qualify for the state meet, and that was Yamlin Ramirez, and she did that as a freshman. On the boys' side, we ran a partial team. We had a few injuries and a couple scheduling conflicts, so we weren't able to run a full boys' team at regionals, but they still ran very well. And now I'd like to announce my letter winners and provisional letter winners. My letter winners on the girls' side were Camille Mead, Alexia Bose, Mallory Seidel, Yamlin Ramirez, Geraldine Vargas, and Emily Michaelis. On the boys' side, Austin Danner, Adrian Gamez, and Tyler Deering. And then our provisional winners were Blake Seidel and Ian Foster. And then again, I'd like to give a special mention to Yamlin Ramirez for qualifying for state as a freshman.
It is my privilege and honor to recognize the teams of the Scholastic Team Awards. It proves that our student athletes excel not only on the various athletic fields, but also work very hard in class and make outstanding grades. The teams that earn the outstanding certificates from the Kansas State High School Activity Association for the first semester of work earn a GPA of 3.0 to 3.24 collectively. There is a second award that can also be earned, and we have 4 teams that earned the Distinguished Certificate from the Kansas State High School Activity Association for the first semester of work with a collective team grade point average of 3.25 to 4.0. Congratulations to the kids and coaches of tennis, cross country, cheer, and volleyball. These are the groups that the Kansas State High School Activity Association have recognized for the fall season. Winter and spring activities will be calculated following completion of the second semester. Congratulations again. At this time, I'd like to introduce the coaches of the winter and spring sports. Winter sport coaches are head cheer coach Leah Bowers, boys basketball coach Brian Fries, head girls basketball coach BJ Smith, head wrestling coach Mark Schottler. Head coaches of the spring sports are head track coach Zach Vogel, head baseball coach Adam Needens, head softball coach Marlon Clark, head golf coach Jim Escott, and the head boys tennis coach Jack Wilson.
Committing to the cheerleading team takes a lot of dedication, and I would like to thank those girls who took the time for the season, all of the late football nights and basketball games, the competition practices, and everything else in between. So for those girls that participated, I would like to thank you. There are 5 freshmen: Katie Denton, Annalek Rios, Alicia Foster, Shelby Johnston, and Jennifer Alvarez. Thank you, ladies. There are 3 young ladies who are receiving provisional letters. Junior Lauren Daniels, freshman Caitlin Belote, and Yemily Ramirez. There are remaining ladies who will be receiving letters this year. Freshman Brianna Allison, sophomores Bailey Baxter, Evelyn Fierro, and Lily Stansberry. Juniors Brianna Russell and Aspen Lassiter. And thank you mostly to our 2 seniors who are leaders on the team, Erin Cox and Cynthia Ortiz.
Hey guys, how about these young basketball players? 26 young men finished the season this year. Our C team finished 5-6. Our C team had to play in our JV tournament because we had a team that dropped out. So our young freshmen, sophomores stepped in there, and they actually even won a game and took 7th place. Our JV team finished 13-7 this year. And in that same JV tournament, we took 2nd. Played a great couple games, just didn't have quite enough energy to win the championship game that night. And then these varsity guys finished up 16-6. Well, what a great season our varsity had. I'm so proud of the young guys that played, and we're going to talk about them here in a minute or two, but I want to hit some highlights of the season. This is the best record the boys basketball team has had since about 2006. These young guys hosted and won a first-round sub-state game. That's the first time that's happened in about 14 years. This team beat 5 state-ranked teams this year. And this year we had a first-team All-Central Kansas League player. And it's been a long time since we've had a first-team player All-League. We just had a group of young men that decided and they learned how to win. You know, when you're used to losing, you seem to find ways to lose games. And when you're used to winning, then you find ways to win games. And I think it took a while, and in my opinion, it was the Inman game where we were up 16 going to the 4th quarter, and we ended up getting beat by 1. But I really think that loss kind of turned some things around for us, and our kids decided, you know, they wanted to win a whole lot worse than they wanted to lose. But it took a while, but these guys started believing in themselves, they started believing in each other, and they just started believing that they deserved to win. It's a process when you try to change a losing culture to a winning culture. And I thought these young men paid a price in the off season. We had kids that were in the weight room. We had kids that were in our skills session in the open gyms 4 days a week. And I just thought by the time November rolled around and we started our first day of 2-a-days, we had some guys that showed up to practice and they were ready to work. And they just had a little bit of swag to them that they thought they were going to win some games this year. And I'm telling you, the whole school could feel it. This was a fun season, and you could just feel the excitement on Tuesday nights and Friday nights. We're going to miss these 3 seniors. We're going to miss Aaron Gomez, and we're going to miss Connor Minix, and we're going to miss Ali Pena. Not only for what these 3 guys did on the basketball court, but for what they did off the court as well. You know, these 3 guys played all 4 years for us, and they've just done some really good things for us, and we're going to miss them. But while we're going to miss them, we have a lot of parts returning next year. We hope our guys can work this summer, both on the court and in the weight room. We took a huge step this season. We really need to make a commitment to this off season so we can do this same type of thing again next year. We got some things against us with the stinking coronavirus, so, you know, we're not sure how the weight room's going to work. We're not sure how the gymnasium's going to work. We've already been told that McPherson Summer League has been canceled, so it's going to be a chore finding a way for our kids to get better, but we're going to have to work to do that. Before I read the names of all our players that played this year, I need to say a couple of thank yous, and by a couple I mean about 6 or 7, so bear with me, please. First of all goes to my assistant coaches, Coach Hines and Coach Duck. These 2 guys, I'm telling you, I've been doing this a long time, and you're only as good as your assistant coaches. And these 2 guys were really good this year. I had some days where I couldn't be there, where I had to be with Katie, my daughter, and I just had no doubt that these two guys were going to pull off practice, and they just did things right way. And I really appreciate you guys, Duck and Rasan. Thanks for all your help. Bryson and Dez. Bryson was our team manager and did a super job. Dez did all the filming of our games. I think he might have missed one or two for sickness, but Dez is really important because I do all my stats from film, and it's important that we have a good filmer, and I just really appreciate what he and Bryson both did. Terry Pound and Tom Moore, you guys, I tell you, these guys do so much for us. They go to every game, away and home, tournament, keep the scorebook, keep a shot chart, do some of the stats for me. Just invaluable. I really appreciate what Terry and Tom do for us. Parents, you guys are probably the most important of all. You guys let us have your sons for about 4 months, and we spend a lot of time with your sons, probably 2.5 to 3 hours a day, and more like 8 or 9 hours a day on a game day. And I just really appreciate you guys letting us coach your young son. And you know, they're late for supper some nights because practice goes long, and you got games every Tuesday and Friday. But parents, we just really appreciate everything you've done for us. Our administration, especially Mr. Foose, I'm telling you, this guy is positive, he's supportive. I don't think Mr. Foose knows how much we appreciate what he's done for us and for our program. So thank you, Mr. Foose and Mr. Nesser. Mr. Shank, our team chaplain, this guy does a lot of stuff, and it's all voluntary. He doesn't get paid. He comes to practices, he comes to games, he says our prayer before every game. He's there for the kids if they need to visit with him about anything, and it's another guy on our side that's in the locker room, and I don't think you can ever have too many prayers whenever you're working with 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. And last but definitely not least is my wife. She's the strongest woman I know. She lets me do this job that I love to do, and I've been doing it for 31 years now, and it takes so much time away from her, and especially from Katie. Way more time than most of you people probably realize, but she's a trooper, and I just can't say enough about the love and support she gives me and how she lets me coach this game of basketball that I love to coach. So I need to move on. I'm going to talk about all the guys that came out for basketball this year. We're going to start with the participant awards. These are kids that did not earn a letter, but were still a very valuable part of our team, and most of them are going to be freshmen and sophomores. So the freshman participants: Jared Alvidrez, Merlin Binky, Rolando Ordaz, Kevin Soto, and Stone Starbuck. Our sophomores were Luis Barraturan, Brian Bernhardt, Amari Campbell, Alejandro Carrena, Ruben Guzman, Hayden Lehman, and Wyatt Showalter. We had 2 sophomores that won provisional letters, and for you that don't know what a provisional letter is, that simply means they were close to a letter, but if we can encourage them to come back out next year and they letter next year, then this sophomore year's provisional letter will turn into a true letter. And those 2 sophomores were Eric Diaz and Brian Fernandez. The rest of these guys were all letter winners. In order to win a letter in our program, you have to play in at least half of the varsity quarters. And we had this year, 22 games, so we had 88 quarters. So these guys had to play in at least 44 of those quarters, or they had to be suited up for our sub-state basketball team, which means they were in the top 12 at the end of the year. So, letter winners: freshmen, Kayston Cox; sophomores, Carl Clark, Cade Crawford, and Dawson Stover; juniors, Ray Alamos, Billy Harley, Trey McClure, Jerry Orta, and Israel Rios. And then our 3 seniors, Aaron Gomez, Connor Minix, and Alejandro Pena. So you can see we're losing 3 seniors, but we got a lot. We got 5 juniors, we got 3 sophomores, and a freshman that are all going to come back. They all saw the court at least a little bit of time this year as varsity players, but I'm telling you, the 5 juniors and 2 of those sophomores, they saw a lot of valuable playing time, and that's going to be huge for us next year. Also, Bryson Infield is going to receive a manager's letter. So we actually have 13 letter winners, 12 for players and 1 for a manager. I want to talk about some postseason awards. Connor Minix, this was the 2nd year in a row, so both his junior and his senior year, he was awarded honorable mention, all CKL. He also is one of our team captains this year. Trey McClure. Trey last year as a sophomore was honorable mention, all CKL. This year as a junior, he is first team, all Central Kansas League. He is the coach of Kansas Basketball Coaches Association, 2nd team, all state class 3A. And he was on the Sports in Kansas honorable mention for all state class 3A. So you can see Trey had quite a few postseason awards, and we're lucky enough we're going to have him one more year. Our other team captain was Alejandro Pena. He was a senior who did not get any league recognition, but I'm telling you, Ali was one of our most vocal leaders, and we're going to miss Ali tremendously. He never let practice get quiet. He just did a great job being a leader. So our 3 captains were Connor and Ali and Trey, and we just really appreciate what they've done for us. So these are our 26 kids that finished the season. I'm telling you, it was one of the most fun seasons we've had in a long time, because winning is fun. People that say winning doesn't matter, they don't know what they're talking about. Winning is huge. It was a lot of fun this year, and we are hoping that we will continue to do this again next year. So I hate that we're doing this the way we're doing it this year. I miss seeing our players and our students every day, but I hope things are well for everybody, and God bless. Thank you for everything.
Hi, this is Coach Smith here. Talk about our girls basketball season. We were 8-13. Ended up playing Southeast Saline and Sub-State. Played very well against them. Almost pulled off an upset. Our coaches on our team was me, BJ Smith, and Katie Herman, Andrea Rumler. And our managers were Sinan, Millie, Mariana, Emily, and Natasha. Even though Natasha was kind of like a medical redshirt this year, but she worked as a manager for us a lot. Our freshmen, Caitlin and Yamily, both got letters. Sarah E., Melanie, Brianne, Geraldine, and Nevaeh all got provisionals. Our sophomores, Lizeth, Kaylee, and Cricket, they got letters. And Yaneli, Mallory, Becca, and Sarah E., they got provisionals. Our juniors is a small class. We have Becca and Carolina, and they got provisionals as well. We had 3 seniors on the team, and they were very important to us. They actually averaged 20.4 points and 13 rebounds a game. That's going to be kind of hard to replace, so hopefully some of our younger kids can step up next year and we can score. Daisy, she averaged 5.1 for us and 2.2 rebounds and 1.5 assists. She took on a new role this year compared to what she's done in the past. And it's hard to do that when you're going into your senior year. I've had experience with that when I was playing, and I appreciate everything she did. It's very difficult to do that kind of a thing. It takes a lot of unselfishness. Liberty, she was like our 6th man. She was great as a coach. Sometimes the 6th man is your most important person because you put them in there and they can give you a spark where you need it. Liberty did that for us a lot. She averaged 3 points a game and 2.8 rebounds. And Tina, she was our go-to. She averaged 12 points and 8 rebounds and 2.3 steals per game. She was voted 2nd team All-League and 2nd team All-State. She had a very good season. She worked really hard. She will really be missed. I'd like to give a special thanks to Coach Herman and Coach Rumler. If you've never been a basketball coach, it's hard to tell and describe how much time goes into a season, and I appreciate all the time they put in. Ashley Rose, she is our trainer. Without her, we probably wouldn't have had a basketball team. I think like the whole team went to her office before practice every day, and Yamily probably owes her thousands of dollars in massage therapy. I want to give a special thanks to Coach Moore and Terry Pound. They donate and a lot of their time to us, and I really appreciate them taking stats and helping us out. It was that's a huge help for us. Jacob Masick, he took a lot of pictures this year, went to a lot of our games. I used a lot of his pictures on this slideshow, so thanks. Special thanks to all the parents. Without parents, you just can't have a successful team. They're very, very important to me and to our team. Thanks. And for our fans and everybody who supports our team. Thank you.
This was the youngest wrestling team that I've coached here at Lyons, but they have what no one else can give them, and that is heart. Half of the team had very little or no wrestling experience. By the end of the season, all of them had won matches. They all earned letters, and Austin and Dominic both qualified for the state tournament, winning one match each. So in the end, it was a good year, and if they keep working hard, they will have much to look forward to.
There you go, right there. Hold it. Get your head up, break that leg. Grab his leg. There you go, right there. Keep going, extend it. Extend it.
Chase. Listen to me. Wrong. There you go. Run it. Run it. Come on. Come on. Lift it. Lift it. Lift it. Chase, lift it.
There it is. Yes. Move up with it. Keep that ankle. Move up with it. Let's go, Dom. Let's go. Nice two. Nice head. Extend it. Spin. Half. 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 Look for cradle. Bar. Drive. Right there. There you go. Flip. Step, let's go. Hit it. Use it. Keep going, you got it. There you go. Twister. Chuck him down. Lift his head! Lift his head up! Lift his head up! Lift his head! Oh, let's go. Not a kid. Half. Right hand, half. Now get your head up. Head up. Put your head up.
What's wrong with breaking a kid's leg like Ish did?
Tom, attaboy.
Elbows in. Watch the throw. Keep right there. Hold it right. Take a stop. Recovery stop. There you go. Work up. Work up. There you go. There you go.
Hello, I'm Coach Fogel, the head track coach, and welcome to our virtual sports banquet. Unfortunately, all the spring sports got cut short. We only had 9 days of track practice before our season was ended, but we were making momentum, and our team was getting larger, and we were excited about starting the new season. So we had more numbers out this year than we've had in several years, and with those numbers, lots of talent, very fast, and athletic individuals. So we were excited about our track season, and unfortunately it got cut short. So before we go on with the letter winners and the provisional letter winners, I'd like to thank my coaching staff. And so this is both the high school and the middle school staff, but we work together, and I'd like to thank all of them. And so we had Coach Freeze, Coach Bowers, Coach Fall, and Coach Stansberry. And we also had Coach Reason, Coach Gaylor, Coach Gonda, and Coach Gwinnett. So thank you guys for your help this season. And now on to our letter winners. The way we decided to do that was all seniors would earn a letter, and then all underclassmen will earn a provisional letter. Next year, your provisional letter, when you go out, will turn into a letter. So we're going to start with seniors because you guys got a letter, and we'll start with the boys' side. We had Alejandro Pena, Robbie Stansberry, Connor Minix, and Christian Hoffman. On the girls' side, Christina Head, Aaron Cox, and Hulla Bryant. So congratulations to you seniors. And now for our underclassmen, we'll start with the boys' side with freshmen. We had Rolando Ordaz, Tavon Hamilton, Shannon Abbott, Deontay Stanley, Tyler Deering, Jarrett Alvarez, Adrian Gamez, Emiliano Gonzalez. And then for the sophomores, we had Cade Crawford, Wyatt Showalter, Trayton Troyer, Cole Clark, Brian Fernandez, and Bryson Infield. For our juniors on the boys' side, Blake Seidel, Emiliano Gonzalez, Alejandro Mendez, Israel Rios, Ian Foster, Ray Bolaño, Billy Harley. And then on the girls' side, we had, starting with the freshmen, Mariah Peterman, Sarah Carrera, Natasha Jaime, Alicia Foster, Annalake Rios. And then on the sophomores, we had Lily Stansberry, Janessa Jaime, Bailey Baxter, Becca Conda, and Yaneli Pena. And then our juniors, we had Belana Hamilton and Camille Mead. And I'd like to announce the athletes who've been out for all 4 years. And those were Alejandro Pena, Robbie Stansberry on the boys' side, and then also going out for all 4 years was Hulla Bryant. So congratulations for you guys for completing all 4 years of track. And then I'd also like to thank my two managers who came out and helped us this season, Victoria Contreras and Lauren Daniels.
Hey everyone, my name is Adam Needens. This is the 2020 Lyons Sterling baseball program. I'm doing this video on behalf of myself, my assistant coaches Clint Bieberly, Dave Viramontes, and Ian Anderson, as well as our LHS baseball program. You see on our slide here that we have Lyons Sterling baseball. We were able to get a co-op with Sterling this past summer. Our board, their board approved, and we were really looking forward to having that combination work for us this spring. We're really excited about where our program is headed here for this year and not only then into the future. I felt like this was a big deal for us. What we were looking for is to build a program, and I felt that we needed to have this co-op going forward to help build us a program, meaning this allows us to have a JV program and a varsity program within our squad here. We had 28 total guys out when all of this happened, and that's an awesome number to have. It's really exciting. It's a great problem to have, as any coach would know. Everything was working for us. We had some great practices going. I think myself and all the other coaches would agree that everything was looking up for us this year after a rough couple past 2 seasons. Going into this season, we were pretty excited about where we were headed and what we were going to see this spring. We had some awesome talent that we were getting to see day in and day out at practice, and then some guys that were still in basketball that hadn't gotten there quite yet. We hadn't gotten to see them yet, but I know there was some talent coming in as well there. No doubt in my mind that our program was headed in the right direction this year, and we were going places this year. But that obviously didn't happen, so here we are, and we're going to be working for the future now. We're looking at 2021, and then where we can build on and improve and continue this rise as a program. So here we go into our rostering and lettering. These would be my 5 seniors that we had on the roster this year. These guys were going to play a huge part for us more than likely going forward this season. But we had Carlos Valerio, who has been with us for all 4 years. Great pitcher, great kid, solid in the field for us all past 4 years. Des Higgins, good player for us in the outfield and everything. These last 3 on the list there, Brady Myers, Caden Bressler, and Logan Weigel, were from Sterling, and I hadn't had the chance to see them play yet because they still had basketball, and I guess I won't be getting to see much of them this spring either. But I know that these 5 would have played a huge role in our success this year, and I just want to thank them for coming out, and I want to thank Carlos and Des for their service over the past few years and what they meant to this program, and I want to wish all 5 of these guys good luck going on in the future. This would be our provisional roster, so these are our freshmen through juniors. There's 23 guys on this list, which is exciting to me as a coach, that knowing that hopefully all these guys come back and then we add freshmen into the mix as well, and we're really building a strong program, adding on to that 25 to 30 kids, having 2 or 3 guys at a spot. It's really exciting for me, and I know the other coaches are excited about that as well. As you look through that list, you're going to see some really solid baseball players and some solid athletes and some solid characters in there. No doubt in my mind, I hope all these guys come back, and we're going to be solid in 2021 moving forward. I like where our program's headed. I like the direction that we have. I feel like we have a lot of community support, both Sterling and Lyons behind us. I know our board's behind us. I know our administrators are behind us, and I'm excited to see where this goes come fall, winter, and then definitely in the springtime when we get back to game action. But that's our presentation for the LHS 2020 baseball program. I just want to wish everybody good luck. Stay safe out there. Thank you.
Marlon Clark, Lyons softball head coach. My assistant is Brandon Moore. My manager was Emily Michaelis. We are very disappointed we didn't get to play softball this year. We were really excited about it and really anticipated a very, very good year, and so it's disappointing that we didn't get a chance to play. Letter winners: Daisy Stover, senior; Emily Roble, junior; Brianna Russell, junior; Kaylee Areola, sophomore; Dylan Procopio, sophomore; Lizeth Villanueva, sophomore; Mallory Seidel, sophomore. Provisional winners: Val Montanez, junior; Mariana Almanzo, sophomore; Julissa Sierras, sophomore; Cien Carona, sophomore; Geraldine Vargas, freshman; Emma Elliott, freshman; Caitlin Belote, freshman; Yamili Ramirez, freshman. Brianna Slomer, freshman. Kimberly Vosholz, freshman. Brianna Allison, freshman. Jennifer Alvarez, freshman. Melody Melendez, freshman. Tessa Miller, freshman. Thank you. Girls, if you can call me, 620-680-1402. We have a chance maybe to play some summer ball with some of the teams of our league. If you're interested, give me a call. Love y'all. Bye.
Good evening. I'm Coach Eskett from the 2020 Lyons High School golf team. And as you know, unfortunately, we didn't get a whole lot of golf in this year. But I look forward to you all coming back out next year and getting out on the links. So with that being said, I'd like to recognize our 2020 golf team letter winners. First, our senior, Jonathan Smith, lettered. Austin Danner, sophomore, provisional letter. Troy Reason, sophomore, provisional letter. Alex Bruno, sophomore, provisional letter. Braxton Keffer, sophomore, provisional letter. And last but not least, Stone Starbuck, freshman, provisional letter winner. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Jack Wilson. I'm the Lyons High School boys tennis coach for the 2020 shortened season. Quick overview for the awards banquet, virtual athletic banquet. I'd like to shout out a couple thanks to some folks, give a quick summary of our season, talk about our provisional letter winners, and a little bit about the future of boys tennis over at Lyons, or tennis in general, and then sum it up from there. So with regard to thanks, first and foremost, I want to thank the student athletes that signed up for the restart of the boys tennis program. Also, Activities Director Foos and the administration were a big help with regard to, obviously, with restarting the program. Had dozens of questions, and the administration was, were very quick in responding and keeping things going as we got restarted the program. Thirdly, for thanks, Board of Education. I know you guys voted to restart the tennis program after many decades of not having a program, so thanks to you guys. And finally, just the voters and the taxpayers of USD 405 for passing the bond issue in 2013 that allowed the tennis complex that the Lyons has to be constructed. So that's about it for the thanks. Summary of the season, it was a quick one. We just had the 2 weeks of practice after school starting March 2nd, and then some extra hitting over the one weekend there we had. Then we rolled into spring break, and not needing to say the wheels fell off after that with regard to COVID-19. So some positives from the season. The most significant is just restarting the boys tennis program at Lyons High School. In general, 1967, per the head media aide review of the yearbooks, was the last time that Lyons High School did have boys tennis. And if you're a historian, that's before any humans set foot on the moon. So that's been 53 years since they had a program. So that's the most significant positive. We had a good group of student athletes. They all had good attitudes, behaved well in the 2 weeks we had of practice, and definitely had a willingness to work hard and learn to improve and enjoy tennis, not only the physical and technique aspect of it, but the mental aspect as well, which is a huge part of tennis, and enjoying competing. And not, it's a lot of times you're out there on the court by yourself, so it's an individual sport, and the mental aspect of the game is very important, as well as the physical and technique part. So they did a good job with that. There was some talk early about co-oping with nearby Sterling. We were able to have our own program, which I think was also a positive. Originally, we were going to have to commute down to Sterling for our practices. So that saved us 45 minutes a day just packing everybody up, driving back and forth. So to be able to have our own programs on our nice tennis courts, that was a positive from the season as well. Finally, we had a very young team, 9 or 10 players out. We didn't have any seniors, and the majority of the players were freshmen. So hopefully the future looks bright. The negatives, as far as the summary of the season, needless to say, just the shortened season with COVID-19 and not being able to participate in any tennis meets, which is really where you take all the practice that we did and working on things in March to and apply that in tennis meets in April and early May. So that's kind of again, thanks and summary of the season. With that, I'd like to announce the provisional letter winners for 2020, and I'll just give everybody that attended all the practices for the first 2 weeks provisional letters for 2020, and then next year, should you participate in 2 varsity meets, then you'll both get the pin and the bar for 2021 as well as 2020. So with that in mind, our provisional letter winners, we had 2 juniors. Again, I said we had no seniors, but the 2 juniors provided good upper class leadership, and they were Pedro Pena and Will Steele. And I thank those guys for their leadership starting their junior year in a restarted program. So thank you. 1 sophomore, Amari Campbell, was a hard worker. He finished up the basketball season, so joined us a day or 2 late, but really dug in and worked hard. Definitely one of our harder workers with regard to tennis. Then we had a slew of freshmen. Andy Gouldner, Carlos Reyes was injured, but to his credit, he showed up every day and listened to what we were trying to teach and participated where he could and helped out in whatever manner he could. He had surgery the first day of spring break, I think, and after I talked to him, it sounded like initially that went well, so we hope to have him back next year. Jarrett Smith was another freshman, good player. Matt Adams, teamed up with him temporarily, or that was kind of our plan to have them as a doubles team. Both being freshmen to where maybe they could grow down in the future, years as a doubles team. And then also Philip Capps and Zach Cotis were also provisional letter winners. So that's 9 provisional letter winners. We did have a part-time participant, Colby Kiesling. He started a couple of our initial practices, but then had some other commitments, so wasn't able to complete the full 2 weeks like the rest of the guys. That's our provisional letter winners for 2020. The future, I'm excited about the Lyons High School boys tennis program, and hopefully once this COVID-19 some of the restrictions are lessened. Hopefully, this summer we can get back to some hitting with the players on the team. I'd also extend that to any parents over the summer anyway. Any parents or young future players that may want to give tennis a try. Tennis is a lifetime sport. I'm 55 years old and still play regularly. So feel free. The USD 405 has my contact information, and I like to hit and for cardio exercise and answer any questions I can. If anybody of any age would like to learn some basics about tennis or just get some exercise, that sums up kind of the future. Quick overview. In conclusion, thanks again, and congratulations to the student athletes who participated in the restarted Lyons High School boys program this year, and look forward to getting back on the court with you after this pandemic's over. Thanks, guys.
At this time, I would like to recognize our students who participate in the many opportunities that Lyons High School has to offer. Putting in the effort and time commitment to be in sports is often overlooked. We have many students and coaches that do this multiple seasons in a row. It takes a tremendous amount of time and dedication to participate in 3 sports while maintaining grades and other responsibilities as students at Lyons High School. The first of the individual awards I'm handing out this afternoon is the Triple Crown Award. This award is for the athletes that have participated and lettered in 3 varsity sports. This award is being recognized tonight to encourage all kids to get involved and excel in varsity sports to help our school's athletic teams achieve as much success as they can as student athletes. The student athletes that have earned the Triple Crown Awards are Christina Head, Daisy Stover, Caitlin Belote, Janessa Jaime, Kaylee Areola, Lizette Valenzuela, Yamli Ramirez, Carl Clark, Ray Alamos, Alejandro Pena, Dawson Stover, Giovanni Pando, Israel Rios, and Austin Danner. The Triple Crown Award winners will receive a school medal recognizing their 3-sport accomplishment. Congratulations to our Triple Crown Award winners. Way to go. The final award I will recognize will be for the male and female athletes of the year. The athletes of the year are recognized as a position of honor, not only for their accomplishments at contests, but also for what they've attained and contributed as a product of our educational process. This award is handed out by our coaching staff at Lyons High School. The coaches nominate and then vote on our Athlete of the Year based on the following criteria: cooperation, leadership, performance, citizenship, participation, and competitiveness. The student athletes who are about to be recognized have excelled in all of these educational values and have been selected to this honor by the coaching staff at Lyons High School. The Athletes of the Year will receive a certificate and a school medal. Their names will also be inscribed on the Athlete of the Year plaque in the trophy case. We will begin with the Female Athlete of the Year Award. It is my honor and privilege to announce that the 2019-2020 Female Athlete of the Year goes to, for the 3rd year in a row, Miss Christina Head. Congratulations, Christina. We will now move on to the Male Athlete of the Year. It is my honor to announce that the 2019-2020 Male Athlete of the Year goes to Alejandro Pena. Congratulations, Alejandro. When you see these 2 student athletes, please thank them both for their achievements and dedication during this past school year. Christina and Alejandro, thank you for making us proud and for the opportunity to work with you. Finally, seniors, thank you for your time and effort the past 4 years. I would like to personally wish you the best of luck, whether you are continuing your athletic careers, going to a 2 or 4-year college or university, attending a trade school, or going into the armed forces. You have provided us as parents, coaches, friends, and relatives with memories that we will cherish for a lifetime. Finally, underclassmen, as you take another step towards graduation, the summer will pass quickly as you prepare for another sports season. Although we don't know what the future holds for us school-wise, the next school year will be here before you know it. I pray that we will be able to meet in person and not virtually. Take the time when we will be allowed again to prepare for the rigors of varsity sports season by not missing a day of summer strength and conditioning. It is vital. Make yourself a better athlete and even a better teammate. Hold each other accountable every day. Remember, tough times don't last, tough people do.